All right, so this is a video for educational purposes for class. And so, Myrna, on your intake form, you experienced some trauma that has happened to you and is causing problems in your current life.
Yes.
So what's this last week been like?
I was drunk most of the week. I slept most of the week. I stayed in my house. Um, the house is a wreck. I don't clean it. I don't feel like cleaning it. Because I'm not going to see people. Not see. I don't want people to come over. I don't want to go out in public. I just want to be left alone. And I know that's not right, so I'm here to see if there's a way I can deal with this, deal with the memories I have and the dreams I'm having. The dreams will go away, I know that, but is there a way that I can work through them and still be productive? I'm open to any suggestions
Okay.
that you might have.
Okay. And let me ask, have you done therapy before?
No.
This is your first time?
Yep.
Okay. And so with therapy, what are your expectations? What do you think we can accomplish here?
Well, I'm hoping I can live a somewhat normal life where I can get up and actually go to a job, and I can't hold on a job because I'm get drunk and then I can't get up to work, and I don't do well at work or around people because it's hard for me to deal with people. So I really don't want to be around people right now.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that I can at least hold down a job and work an 8-hour day, go home and sleep without having to use alcohol. I'm hoping it will put me to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then be able to get up the next morning and actually go back to work. So I guess that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Okay.
Somewhat normal life.
Okay. So when you're having these flashbacks, these dreams, is it mostly happening at nighttime, or is there something that triggers it?
It's dreams that I have.
Okay.
I could just keep reliving a moment.
Okay.
When my best friend passed away in front of me.
Okay.
And I guess I feel guilty. I couldn't do anything for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to face his mom and dad's funeral. I was so guilty that I was hearing his weather. So it's hard.
Okay. So you say you're feeling guilty because you're here and he's not.
Yeah.
So do you feel like your life is meaningless because
I know,
you
yes.
survived? Okay. 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 So if he would have lived, do you think you would still be feeling?
No, it'll be okay.
You'd be okay. Okay. Do you
Yeah,
feel
I
responsible?
change that. I just need to find a way to deal with it and move on.
Okay. So do you feel responsible for his death?
Not really responsible, but I wish I could have done something. But I know there's nothing I could have done. But I know I'm not responsible for it, but it's really hard to see a friend die in front of you
Mm-hmm.
and not see that over and over in your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So no, responsible, no, just seeing it over and over again. It's hard.
Mm-hmm. The repetition. So when you experienced things, now let's talk about prior before your friend and the battle. When you were growing up and you faced hard times and there was challenges that you were going through, can you remember anything that you did to help you get you through the hard times?
I don't remember anything like this. I mean, childish things. It's just kind of stuff that you grow up with. You just kind of outgrow some stuff.
Okay.
But nothing like this. It's the worst that ever had happened to me. So I guess that's why it's so traumatic, because I've never had anything really bad happen. Nothing other than just childish bullying or stuff like that. That's
Mhm.
nothing. I didn't know.
Okay. And how was your relationship with your parents?
Good.
Good?
Good. That's real good.
If you were just to describe the relationship, what would it be like?
Well, they're there for me. They just want me to kind of get my act cleaned up. They're getting kind of annoyed, maybe. A little, I know they're concerned, but it's also annoying. Kind of an embarrassment. we're from a small town, so people talk and
Mhm.
they don't, they don't like that so much.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, try not to be in the embarrassments of my folks.
Okay. So going through something like this is it's hard for anybody. It's not
Right.
just like you're not the feelings and experiences that you're going through, the nightmares that you're having, normal, like that's a normal experience to go through because it is such a traumatic thing to watch your friend that you couldn't save in the battle.
Right.
Um, do you What does your support system look like? I know you said your parents are there for you.
It's just me and my parents. I mean, I'm the only child actually.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it's just me and my parents, and they're very supportive of me.
Okay.
But yet, they can only take so much too.
Okay.
I'm kind of a burden right now because I can't help myself, or I don't choose to help myself right now because I really don't know what to do with this.
Okay, so you said you're a burden. Now, is it something they've said to you, or is that something
No,
that you
it's just
feel?
something I feel.
Okay.
But I mean, I know they get tired of this same old that, she's drunk again. She needs to get her crap together,
Right.
get out there and get a job, quit feeling sorry for herself. But then, on the other hand, then they go, oh, they don't mean that, they know I went through a lot. But it's a lot for somebody to take. You get tired of the same old feeling. Unless you've walked those shoes, you just don't know what it's like.
No.
So,
It's not. It's a very hard thing. Do you have any other friends from the military that you still keep in contact with?
yeah, there's a couple.
Okay.
There's a couple of them. And they're supportive as well.
Okay.
But they all have families of their own as well. They've got the friends that I have are married and have kids. I'm not married, or do I have kids right now?
Okay. So you feel kind of isolated from them, would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah.
Okay. Because you don't have as much in
Yeah,
common.
and they've got their lives. They don't need me hanging around. I'll go and have a beer with them or something, but I'm not gonna hang around and get in their family way.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So you feel more that you don't want to be a burden to them because you feel like you're a burden to your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the experience that you had with your best friend in the battle? Let's go that route for a second. So when you were in the battle with your friend, do you blame anybody for his death? Do you have any
War? Yeah.
Mhm.
I blame the war. I don't know why we're still in it.
Right.
It should have been over and done with a long time ago. I don't know we're still in it. People are still getting hurt and killed.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, there's nothing I can do about it.
Okay. So for the war, you just blame the government that we're having to be in this war. Okay. So we can't change what happened.
No.
Do we? So the behavior that you've been having for that memory is by drinking, and when you drink, and it puts you to sleep, which causes you to have the nightmares, right?
No.
No.
When I drink, I don't have the nightmares. I'm just.
It numbs you, takes
Yeah.
you away from it to where you
If I don't
disassociate.
drink, I have the nightmares.
Okay.
The drinking puts me out, just passes me out, so I don't have to think of drink. I don't drink.
Okay. Okay. So, in our safe environment that we have in therapy, we can go through the process of going through that memory to where it's a painful memory to go through, but sometimes when you face the memory, you make it a part of your story. Like your story is continuing on. You're going to take your best friend's memory with you, but it's not going to be it's not going to be a memory that keeps making you do destructive behaviors to prevent you from living the life you want to live. Like you want to be able to have a good night's sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to hold down a job and to sleep without having to drink alcohol to pass out, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's focus on maybe some of the feelings that you have towards that memory. So when you're thinking about your best friend dying in the field with you, what is your feelings? In the sense of, like, I know you said you felt guilty, but when you're in the battle,
When I'm watching him die, when I watched him die, I felt helpless. Just
Mhm.
sitting there helpless, watching somebody I really care about die. That's a very helpless. You just feel. I felt very useless. I couldn't do anything to fix this.
mhm,
So useless is what I feel is useless.
mhm. In that memory though, there was, I know it's hard, I keep talking. Is this too much? Do you not want to talk about the memory?
Keep going.
Are you sure? We
Yeah.
can go on to something else if you want.
No.
Okay. What I'm trying to understand with that, you felt useless. In that situation, when you guys are in battle, there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
Was he far from you?
It's right next to me.
Right next to you. And in that scene, there was nothing you could do.
No.
When he died, what did you do?
I just held him.
And when you held him, what were you feeling?
Lost.
And I'm gonna flip it. Numb? What do you think he felt when you were holding him?
He was dead. He didn't feel anything.
He died right away?
He
No
died
last
right
breath?
away. He died right away.
Okay.
Well, that was one good thing. He didn't feel anything. But, yeah, he died right away.
Did you cry? Or were you just in shock?
And I'm in shock. I didn't cry. Not at first. Not at first.
When did you express later? Like, when later did,
When the shooting stopped.
and you were
We're
back?
still under battle, so I have to protect myself as well.
So you continued to fight? And you left him behind?
I didn't fight. I just kind of let it numb for a while.
Okay. When he was laying there, did you feel anger? No?
Sadness.
Helplessness? Guilt? Do you think in some ways you being there, holding him, that he might have felt comfort? Even though he was dead right away?
Probably, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. What's going through your mind right now?
Is our hour up yet? Because I'm pretty much done talking about this for today.
Okay, we don't have to talk about this right if we want to stop this memory right now. So let's talk about some different things as far as these feelings are raw. Like it's hard to go back in that time in the battlefield. You know, some people get so frustrated they want to blame somebody, not, you know, whether they blame themselves, they blame God, they blame somebody, like feel like somebody's responsible for it. In this scenario, in that experience, do you blame, like do you want to give the blame to somebody or make somebody pay for that?
No, there's nothing that can be done. It's over. I just need to move on from it. I don't want to deal with all of that. I don't want to talk about all that. I want to move on. Is there something I can go to, a support group or people that have gone through the same thing I have gone through that I can relate to, that I can talk to?
Yeah.
that can help me, like a sponsor for an alcoholic, you know, a sponsor, somebody I can talk to.
No, there's some great military support groups that we can get you involved in if you want to do that, because that's a great opportunity to talk, like, especially with people who've experienced the same things you have. There's also a family therapy that you can do, like to have your parents to understand what's going on with you, so they can understand.
Yeah, we can use that.
And so that way it's just, because then that way they can see it from your perspective of what's going on, because it's kind of hard, you know, I'm sure you don't like to talk about it with your family and you kind of push them away, and so this gives them an opportunity to kind of, to bring that in. Do you, like, is there anything that you, I mean, do y'all belong, do you have faith in God, or what is your
Yeah,
thoughts on?
I kind of stepped away from the church for a little bit,
Okay.
but I would like to get back into the church again. My mother is really getting on to me about that would help, and she's right. She's right.
Mm-hmm.
But I had kind of gotten straight away from that. But yeah, I think that's a good step as well.
Okay.
That would be a good support as well for me.
Okay.
Um,
And the reason why I bring that up is because sometimes with the, you know, another supportive group such as church, it's kind of nice to have that, but also like to find, you know, in the evilness of war, sometimes there's something, you know, like you just want to have an understanding of why did this have to happen. Sometimes there's answers and sometimes there's not, but having a peace about it can be very soothing in the sense of replacing, you know, instead of turning to alcohol, you have a way of connecting that's kind of plugging into a power that can help you more than the alcohol, if you would. But, and I don't know about church, your church family, but something to look into. And, you know, in some cases with trauma, it's easier to like blame and, you know, get mad and angry and go through these feelings, because there's got to be a source behind it. Like there's got to be some, like, where did the evil come from? Who's behind it? How can we get past that, but yet finding peace in that process? And so right now it seems like there's a lot of turmoil of feelings of guilt, anger, hopelessness, loneliness, and it's hard to get past that. But there is hope, because there is, I mean, people have gone through this before and they've gotten to where they're able to find a peace. I know it's hard to imagine, because especially with memories that are so plaguing you that they're constantly pulling at you, pulling you down, that you can't be the best you that you can be, if that makes sense. So let's talk about homework opportunities. I know we didn't want to talk so much about the experience of the battle, and that's okay. We don't have to. Do you feel safe where you're at, like with your family?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, the memories plague you. They keep coming at you, which we're not going to talk about those. But I want to make sure that you feel safe where you're at. And so if you feel safe, I want to make sure you feel safe here. And I know right now you don't want to talk so much about those memories, but I want you to be able to feel comfortable talking about those memories when the time comes. And I want you to be able to focus on, like, memories will haunt you because you don't want to deal with them. But it's important to deal with the memories because you can control how you feel towards those memories. In the sense that you don't have to feel lonely, you don't have to feel isolated, that sort of thing. So, some things that I want you to kind of work on between now and the next session is definitely where you need to find you a good support group therapy with your military, okay? And then you currently don't have a job. Do you feel like you're ready to do something and apply for jobs, or do you want to look at some different skills to get ready for jobs?
Honestly, I'm gonna hold off on that for a minute until get a little bit more into therapy first.
Okay.
I've lost too many jobs already.
Okay. So, what do you think we could do to get ready for jobs?
We're gonna do this therapy thing.
Okay, we're gonna do this therapy thing, but what skills would you like to acquire to help you? I'm gonna say something with people skills, because right now we're not liking to be around people, right? Unless we wanna find a job that doesn't deal with a lot with people,
Right, maybe warehouse.
like a warehouse kind of thing, okay?
Stocking.
Stocking, okay. Something that you feel
I don't
is
have
more,
to deal with people right now. It's something I can do.
okay. But you'll be okay with a group with people in it? Okay. Alright, so the other thing I'll have you do for homework between now and the next session is I want you to list out some things that you would be excited to do for a job. Aside from the warehouse job, what other things might be interesting that we could work towards?
Yeah.
Okay? Alright.